Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rory with Roar Sports Media, joined with my co-host Jordan. Say what's up, man.
Hey guys, what's up? We are back and it is championship weekend. How are y'all doing?
Yes, sir.
Can't wait. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. Exciting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, this is my first show back, coming back from South Korea, so I'm kind of excited to talk live football with my boy back in the States, and it's going to be a much more easier to coordinate and work on these videos, and not being 14 hours ahead of the people back in the States is going to be a lot of help, and we can make, I think, a little bit better content in the future. Super duper excited for the future of the channel. I got some big things coming up, huge guests and a little more collabs with other channels, so that's super duper exciting. Today we're going to talk, of course, NFL championship weekend. Young versus young, old versus old. It's going to be a fun talk. And then a little later in the program, we're going to finish off our live talk from last week, the NFL draft talk. But this side, we're going defensive side of the ball and the best prospects for that. Jordan, let's get into it, dude. Yes. You said you wanted to talk Father Time versus the Green Bay Miracle Maker. So, dude,
the Green Bay Miracle Maker, yes.
Well, and dude, Father Hail Mary, dude. you know,
it's the last of the gunslingers.
Yeah.
No, not the last of the gunslingers. We got some gunslingers in the AFC. Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Gunslingers will never die in the NFL. And so, man, yes. Does Tom Brady beat Father Time? Well, we have to wait and see. He hasn't been playing that great of football, in my opinion. He's had some really good games. A lot of times I feel like his team's carrying him. That's just my opinion.
So I think so too, man. I think without those defensive stops last week versus the Saints, man, I don't think that they win that game. Tom Brady wasn't playing, great. He was playing good. He had some really good deep balls, like to Miller. Have you noticed every time like Tom Brady's in the championship window, he's always throwing to a shifty white boy?
It's crazy. Well, he's just used to it. That was after Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, and there was another guy for a brief moment before Edelman. There was somebody in between, Danny Amendola, right there. And I mean, come on. It's just like, it's insane. Don't get me wrong. Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, when healthy and when he was younger, and Julian Edelman, when healthy and when he was younger, all great wide receivers, like
wide receivers.
Wide receivers.
Think about it. Tom's he's went to championships just straight throwing to white boys, dude. He for some reason he just has a great connection with them, dude.
Hey, he does. And
but he just subbed. Will the Raiders ever have a good D? Probably not. I mean, I think they're on their way. They've had some pretty, in my eyes, subpar defensive drafts over the past few years. I mean, getting the Cleveland Farrell at number 4, I didn't love that pick. And then this year with what was his name? Armon. They picked him at 17. Sorry, didn't love him as a cornerback, but I mean, he played decent, but not the best. So getting back to the championship games, dude. Yeah, dude. I think the Green Bay Bucs game is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be good, but I think that Aaron Rodgers playing in Lambeau, they played extremely well last week. I think that they're probably going to have the edge because Tom has been playing down in Tampa, talking defense. So Tom's been playing down in Tampa where he's comfortable, where it's warm, where it's, dude, today in Jacksonville, it was, I think, about 72 degrees all week long. Or all day long. Sorry about that. And going up to Green Bay where it's cold as hell.
Fun fact about Aaron Rodgers: he's never lost in freezing weather. He's undefeated.
Yeah,
he's never lost in his entire career in cold weather. Not in cold weather, but below freezing. You ain't gonna beat Aaron Rodgers. That's history has proven that.
Well, dude, they're more acclimated to it too up there, up in Wisconsin. Yes. They're way more acclimated to playing football up there in the nature. Where it's I think it's going to be like around freezing whenever they play. So I think tomorrow the Green Bay Packers are. I think they win, but I think it's going to be a good game.
I think it will be a good game too. But I mean, dang man, it's just I think it's not. We already know what the Green Bay Packers offense is. We already know that Matt LaFleur is going to scheme to get Davante Adams open. I mean, you just seen it. You saw it against the Rams. They got Davante Adams open. He did win the battle against Jalen Ramsey. Ever so slightly, and it was a lesser game from what we expect with Davante Adams, but he did what he was supposed to do. You just don't have those cornerbacks like Jalen Ramsey guarding Davante Adams in Tampa Bay. And in my opinion, again, we're talking about Jalen Ramsey, probably the best cornerback in the NFL right now, arguably. So they're going to do their jobs, and they're going to score. It all goes, does Green Bay's defense come like they did last week? If they can get to Tom Brady, again, like any quarterback, it's all going to go on the Green Bay's defense. Because if they let I think Jones Jr. should be good, Fournette should be good, Mike Evans, if they let those guys start cooking and Tom Brady be protected, it's going to be a shootout. I think it will be a shootout. But still, Green Bay wins.
I think so too, honestly. It's going to be a really good game, but also Tampa Bay's defense is also really good.
Yes.
I love their linebackers. I love their cornerbacks. Them picking 3 cornerbacks, I think 2 years ago in the draft, everyone was like, why would you pick 3 cornerbacks? And now all 3 of those cornerbacks are starting. So, now, I mean, they were 1 quarterback away.
Yes, and then I also think about it like this too. Aaron Rodgers has a lot more to prove than Tom Brady. Tom Brady's already proved it.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't deny him. Of course, you can always argue there's better quarterbacks than Tom Brady, but there's none more accomplished than him. He's the Michael Jordan of the sport. Mm-hmm. He's got the most rings, one single team. He showed that he could do it with another team, get him to the playoffs, and Tampa Bay hasn't been to the championship since 2007, I believe.
No, 01. 01.
Was it 01? Okay, 01. Yeah. So 19, 20-year drought right there. Tom Brady comes in, already stacked team. Team was pretty much already there already last year with Jameis Winston in the last few years, and he gets him there. So, I mean, what more do you need from Tom Brady? Aaron Rodgers has to win this to cement the legacy.
Yeah, Tony says, I believe the experience under pressure will prevail. Packers, in my opinion. I mean, I think we all agree. The Packers are definitely – and they're a stacked team. Aaron Rodgers is playing out of his mind. I think he'll probably be the MVP this year. And, I think that he has a good shot at winning a Super Bowl also. Depends on who's coming out of the AFC, of course, but I think that he has a good shot at getting there.
Yes, he does. I mean, that's going to be the one we're going to watch. Unfortunately, I wish I could watch that. That's going to be the one we're going to watch first. I thought it was flipped around. So that's actually the one I do want to see first because I've mentioned it on the channel before. I think Davante Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL. In my opinion,
he's damn good.
He's the best.
He's damn good.
He's really, really good. And so I've got a soft spot for the Packers. So I gotta believe that the Packers will win. Plus, as we mentioned before, when you're having an MVP-like year that Aaron Rodgers is, I don't think anybody's going to take the MVP for him this year. As much as we want Josh Allen to, Rory.
I love him.
Hey, it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers as the MVP this year, and he won his championship last time he put numbers up like this. So,
Yeah, to be honest, man, I'm honestly super duper excited for the future of the NFL because the amount of great quarterbacks that are young and producing right now is great. And I think that with well, honestly, just a real quick tangent real fast. I think the Jets with Sam Darnold are going to be good because I believe in Sam Darnold. And I think that with Shea, like a new coach and with a decent GM now, and was a number 2 pick. So, I mean, they can get anyone in the draft that they want. So, go out there and help him out, please. Get him Jamar Chase or Devontae Adams to throw to instead of, what was it? Jameis. Man, what was his name? They're like only wide receiver.
Crowder. Jameis Crowder.
Jamison Crowder.
Jamison
Jesus.
Crowder.
If he's your number 1, then you have problems. Sorry.
Yes.
All right.
Let's go back.
All right. So I think
statistics tell all. Like statistics don't tell anything. You could be a stat machine and still lose, but who knows, man?
Yeah.
Who
Mr.
knows?
Perez tells no lies. All right, man. Oh, I think that we all had the Packers going pretty much the entire chat.
Everybody.
So, hey guys, thank you for commenting. It makes the show a lot easier, and we're glad that you're watching. So, guys, let's move over to the AFC side. The young guns, for real. These guys probably have the strongest arms in the NFL right now between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. I think that, they have 2 bazookas, and I expect the ball to be thrown all over the field tomorrow. And I think that this game's going to come down to who's more efficient with those deep throws. Is it going to be Josh Allen or is it going to be Pat Mahomes? And whether or not Pat Mahomes is 100% in the game tomorrow. He just got cleared from concussion protocol, I believe, today. So, is he going to be all right? Which, from what I heard, it wasn't really a concussion. It's more like a nerve thing in his neck. They just, it was like a weird nerve because he didn't. From what I saw, he didn't hit his head that hard on the ground. It was more his neck being twerked by by Mac, the linebacker. So
and just you also got to know that. With the way our brains are designed, an object stays in motion, keeps in motion. So even if he did hit, they gotta practice him anytime. And Brett Favre did a huge segment about that, how most of concussions are caused by when your head hits the field, not by player-to-player contact. It's actually when you actually hit the field. So
it's jarring. It's very jarring.
Yeah,
in your
it's
head.
jarring. So, but yeah, they were saying it was more of a nerve thing, like almost like a stinger, than anything else. But I think what we'll know is we'll know very quickly if something's wrong. If Pat Mahomes is game managing and trying to get through. Just trying to win and get through the game and score really quick, or is it he's going to go out and ball? So we're gonna see that very quickly, I think, tomorrow. Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun one.
I mean, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm honestly rooting for the Bills because I think that fan base deserves to go to a Super Bowl and actually win. Because in the 90s, they four-peated in the Super Bowl 4 times and didn't win one. And honestly, I don't know if it's more depressing to go once and lose or go 4 times. Honestly, I really don't.
And lose all times.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. That's a really good question.
And one was your Cowboys, so
gotta love it. Wait, how long ago was that? So long ago.
I believe that was 93. I think that was 93.
90, yeah, it was like 93, and it was just the Bills Mafia, and it was so you'll see clips of that, and it's
and
so
by the way,
to
throw some respect on the Bills real fast, they actually won the number 1 fan base in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
Bills
Mafia,
they won,
bro.
Yeah, they won the number 1 fan base in the NFL, and they got a billboard to say that they're the number 1 fan base, and they got to put that billboard anywhere in the country. Do you know where they put it?
No, I don't.
They put it in front of the Patriots practice facility. Right? Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
All right. So Nabori says to Pat Mahomes being 100%, I think he has a bad leg too. I don't know. Honestly, I didn't see anything in the news about that. I mean, hopefully not.
I mean, I know he had a leg issue last year. I don't know if that would still affect him. I know he went out like 3 weeks last year when he went for a QB sneak, and then he kind of got tangled up.
Yeah, his knee got hurt.
I don't know if that's still affecting him. There might have been an ankle issue earlier in the year with him, I think, as well.
So
going for the
Bills. Francis is pulling for the Bills, and Mr. Perez. So we both know they got high-powered offense, but let's talk who's got the defense, and that means they both have good defenses. I think the Bills have a better defense. I think that all around they're fantastic. Just overall better defense, but they have Pat Mahomes on offense, so it kind of nullifies a little bit. Yes. Whereas, they have the Honey Badger with the Chiefs, and they have Chris Jones, who's a monster on the defensive line. They have Frank Clark, who's a monster. I love their cornerbacks. Their safeties for the Chiefs too, man. Who's the other one? His name's Hispanic name. Gosh dang it, I am blinking on it. But dude, I mean, the Chiefs are stacked too. Tomorrow, I think that whoever has the higher powered offense versus the other opposing defense is probably going to win, which I think my money right now when it comes to who's going to win the game tomorrow, I'm probably leaning toward the Chiefs, but I'm rooting for the Bills, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. If it's going to go down to defense, if Josh Allen's lighting it up and Patrick Mahomes, and I think just going off how the season went, I think the Bills defense has come up a lot more for the Bills than the Chiefs defense needed to.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're going just on defense, I'd have to push it to the Bills winning. If it's going to end up being who has the better defense, that's who's going to win the game. I think it does actually go to the Bills. I just don't think it's going to go there because I just think Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, the Legion of Zoom, it's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a lot. I believe the Bills have a great fundamental defense. They have some great safeties too, and Micah Hyde, and Tre'Davious White is a DB. Man, the Bills are very good. They're a very well-rounded team. But you have an MVP and a phenom at quarterback on the other side of the ball, which Josh Allen has played out of his mind this year. We loved him for MVP for a lot of the season, and he definitely has it there. I mean, I think he's from like literally week 2. Me and you were talking about him as a top 5 candidate for our MVP. I think that we're both at like Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes right now, but Josh Allen's been in the mix. He's talk about a improved quarterback. Josh Allen has played out of his mind this year. Was it 50? He accounted for 50 touchdowns, right? And 10 interceptions.
Yeah,
which those numbers over the past 2 years from Josh Allen, dude, they haven't been fantastic. This year, he's balled out of his mind, and he's that quarterback that proved that constant improvement can get you places, and I love that from Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're going to stats right now in the regular season, not exactly 50. It feels like 50, but I'm looking at it right now. 37. It is a little more since the playoffs, but this is the regular season, and you're right, 10 interceptions. So yeah. I mean, and then you also got somebody we're not even talking about, which I actually 2 players that we need to count. Cole Beasley.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs. They've both been playing out of their mind too. And I mean, Stephon Diggs has been making these just Pro Bowl top wide receiver catches too. I mean, just on the line, busting coverage, just making people just get turned around. Man, y'all seen the tape. Stephon Diggs, man, he's a dog, man. And
Cole Beasley's playing great too, man. He's the shifty white boy for Josh Allen.
And he won by taking a chance on himself and going to get paid a bigger contract to get away from the Cowboys.
Yes, sir. Jordan, get a haircut, cut your hair.
I was supposed to get a haircut, and then I stopped. I had to go through paperwork.
Yeah, strong
today.
floof, dude.
Strong floof.
Yeah, good floof, dude. Like it.
I'm working on my Pat Mahomes, y'all.
We got powerful hair. Powerful hair over here on the roar. At least from one of us. All right. So I think that's it. I mean, you got the pack. You got the Chiefs, right?
I got the Chiefs. It really does come down to Patrick Mahomes, though. If he's 100%, it's going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. If the Bills win, I might go buy a table and jump through it. Because bro. I think that right now I'm on the Bills Mafia train. I want them to win. Do I think they'll win? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But do I want them to? Hell yeah. I want the Bills to win. Definitely rooting for them. Because they're an easy fan base to root for, honestly, man. Like they know what it's like to struggle for a long time and then finally get to where you needed to. And they didn't have to. They did it there. They did it through the draft and through phenomenal management. They didn't go out and get a Tom Brady,
Oh, of course. I mean, again, you just have to go back to what their coaching staff did to Josh Allen's. Remember, when Josh Allen's came out of the draft, everybody was like, why would you draft this guy? He's not a top pick. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. He can throw a mile. He's not accurate. He's never going to be. And once his athleticism fails him, he's going to be washed up and out of the NFL. That's what a lot of people were saying about Josh Allen. Proved me wrong.
Yeah,
me wrong this year.
In a lot of ways, that's they're saying about Trey Lance too. They're saying that he has all the God-given ability, but he has a giant arm, but he lacks the accuracy. Which Josh Allen is a testament. With the proper coaching and development, you can get to the AFC Championship game eventually through hard work and bettering yourself every year. All right, dude. So I think that's our NFL Conference Championship talk. Do you want to just go ahead and jump straight into the draft, dude?
We can go straight into the draft. We got defense. If y'all caught us last week, we were talking about offense and where these top offensive players would go. We know it's going to be heavy QB. We think it's going to be a heavy offensive and wide receiver, really at the first top 10 picks. And now we're going to defense.
Yeah. Actually, before we get into the draft, dude, let's do QB movement talk, dude, because I think that with breaking news just now, about 3 or 4 hours ago, I guess Matt Stafford wants to leave the Lions. Where do you think he goes?
Oh yeah. Where does he go? So a quarterback like him, somebody who's won championships, who has that winning mentality. Now, when I say championships and winning mentality, I mean back when he was in high school, going to college, not so much as a Detroit Lion, but he has that. I feel like he has that winner mentality. I mean, nobody's good with the Lions.
Yeah.
This was more of a franchise and not Matt Stafford, personally. I think they did him an injustice. I don't think they put him around the right coach, right team. And I am sorry that we watched somebody so talented as Matt Stafford just have his career washed. So he's going to go somewhere that can win now. So a lot of people are talking about San Francisco maybe going away from Jimmy Garoppolo. Why would you not?
I mean, I'd love to see Matt Stafford with 49ers, dude. That'd be great.
Hey, Shanahan, you're going to have just the same wide receivers. You're going to have a better defense. You're going to have a good run game. You're going to have Kittle, Samuel. I mean, you're going to have it. And I could see them giving him. They would be able to absorb his contract and keep their players happy, and put an even better team around him, and maybe go for offense to protect a older quarterback. So I could really see him going to San Francisco. What I would love to see, and this is just me, I'd like to see my Highland Park boy
be a Dallas
come
Cowboy?
back to Dallas.
Ooh.
Let Dak walk, rebuild your offense, offensive line, start to build your defense with Dan Quinn, bring back Matt Stafford to Highland Park. Jerry Jones is a Highland Park boy. Yep. I would, if Dak Prescott isn't going to take a major pay cut, and to help support his football team and give him a better defense to actually go win.
Nabori wants him to go to the Giants, man.
No, Nabori. No. She wants her former Georgia quarterback to go be a Giant.
She would. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I would love that too. But dude, honestly, the Giants need a receiver, bro. They need a receiver. I think that if Devontae Smith gets there, man, that's who you take. Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase. The Giants are picking at the Giants are picking at like
11?
9 or 10. 11. I think
11 because the Cowboys had a little bit of a weaker schedule. Remember, we had this talk last week.
Yeah,
kind of there are some ties, and when it's a tie, it all goes by the weaker schedules. So it would be Giants. Dallas Cowboys ahead of them and Giants right behind them.
Yeah. So I mean, they need a receiver, man. They need a receiver bad. But I mean, they could also draft a tackle too. I mean, Rashawn Slater going to them would be great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking on some draft boards right now, and they have them investing heavily in defense, which
I could see that. I mean, they need an edge rusher too, man. I think they're. Yeah. I think that. I mean, they're. I mean, I think Kwity Paye out of Michigan could make sense too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That could. Gregory Rousseau out of Miami was another big edge rusher. We didn't see him in his bowl game because he's set to prepare for.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I might ask my friend Fry if he can hook me up with an interview with Gregory Rousseau. He works down there as a assistant coach for Miami.
Oh, nice.
That'd be dope, dude. that'd be pretty cool.
If you could get a big name like that,
bro. Ask your boy if he come on my channel for like 15 minutes. No. So
just channel bomb.
We need a new GM. I think so too. Honestly, right now, I don't think it's worked out well for the past couple of years with the Giants GM and management. Yeah, I mean, I think the Giants, they seem like they're always right there. They seem like they're always just right there, where they could make some noise, but they just always end up falling flat on their face at least over the last 5 years. Let's see. Mr. Perez says, should be possible that Fields ends up with the Jaguars since Myers will be the Jaguars coach. They both come from Ohio State program.
I disagree.
Yeah, maybe.
I disagree with that just a little bit. I see where you're going with that, Jose, but you got to go with the better quarterback, and that's Trevor Lawrence. And trust me, Urban Meyer will go with the quarterback he thinks can help him win faster and sooner. That's who Urban Meyer is. He's a winner. And in Justin Fields,
being here in Jacksonville, man, like everyone, dude, there are Trevor Lawrence's jerseys already in the mall here. I walked by it. There's a Jaguars jersey with Trevor Lawrence and the number 1 right there, dude. And I'm just like, I think that's pretty much the only way you go. I think the reason why Urban Meyer ended up going to the Jags was for Trevor Lawrence. He knew that he was going to get the quarterback of the future, and they could, the Jaguars have a decent team. They were literally a quarterback away. I don't think that they're as bad as their schedule says. I just think that I don't think they've had a quarterback that could produce, man. Honestly, they had a phenomenal rookie running back this year.
Yep. And I mean, we've talked about Justin Fields before. We think he has a very high ceiling. He's just not there yet. He's going to be a guy that's going to you don't actually, I don't think we want to see play as he gets there. Trevor Lawrence is ready to go. He's ready to go.
He's been ready since high school.
Justin Fields, he's a year or two in the NFL, and then you might see him. He's going to be a guy that needs to be behind a veteran and learn for a little bit, develop a little bit more.
So with Justin Fields, I see a less, I guess, shifty Kyler Murray. That's what I see. A less shifty and less accurate Kyler Murray. Could he be there? Yeah, he could be there. He's extremely mobile and has a good arm. But are they to the point where Kyler Murray was whenever he was coming out at number 1? I don't think so. But does he have the capability of getting there? Yes, I think so.
They're kind of like apples and oranges. Justin Fields is the size you wanted Kyler Murray to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Fields, you want to throw and be as agile as Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
You just need to fusion them together, y'all. And once you fusion them together,
straight up. So I think that, I think we talked about draft talking fast, but real fast, DeShaun Watson, he is making a lot of stink in Houston, dude. What do you think is happening there? Do you think that he's going to stay with Houston? Because I mean, at this point, bro, it's kind of like the bridge is on fire. It's not quite burnt yet, but it's getting, the flames are getting there.
I think DeShaun Watson wants to go to a team where he can win now. I also think, Nabori, maybe DeShaun Watson goes to the Giants.
I would like to see that. I'm there for that. I would love to see.
I'd be terrified.
Yeah, I think that
his
talent is being wasted right now. He threw this, bro. He was throwing to a washed up Brandon Cooks, bro, and making him look good. He was making Brandon Cooks look like the best number 2 receiver in the league.
And then a very juiced up Will Fuller before he got suspended, y'all.
Yeah. Will Fuller was on the field just like, all right, put me in, coach.
It was like, I've been hurt every year since I've been in the NFL. And then this year I'm completely fine. I'm not on anything, y'all. Totally clean.
No.
I do believe he just had a healthy year, and maybe he was taking some supplements that got blacklisted. But anything better than Turnover Jones?
Turnover.
He's not Turnover Jones. He's Danny Dimes. Come on, Dimes to the defense, y'all.
Danny Turnovers. He's baking up turnovers over here, guys. So
I can see. I also think this is a mutual get rid of contract. I think they're both trying to figure out that he has actually I think a no trade clause in his contract, but I think both the ownership wants to get out from that contract and he wants to leave. I think it's mutual thing.
I think so at this point too. There's a new coach, but the thing is, they don't have a first round pick. They don't have a second round pick. So what do you do as quarterback? I mean, unless you're just next year you're not going to win, so you're going to go for that number 1 pick.
So now here's my question: does Houston trade DeShaun Watson to Jacksonville over Trevor Lawrence, and they get that first round pick, first overall, and they take Trevor Lawrence
over DeShaun Watson, dude? He's cheaper.
You think you take cheaper?
So he's a more prodigious quarterback prospect than DeShaun Watson ever was, and he's going to be cheaper, way cheaper.
So then where do you think he goes? Because I think as Houston, instead of letting DeShaun Watson walk, you've got him under contract. You could trade him.
I think.
Why are you going to let him walk?
So no, it's DeShaun Watson, dude. He has no trade clause, but if he's asking to leave and they both come to a mutual if they come to a mutual understanding, then honestly, man, I think that Atlanta makes sense.
There you go.
I think Atlanta makes sense. They both had the same amount contract wise to their quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I think that the Houston Texans will get Matt Ryan and the Atlanta second round pick. I think that
and
makes
if you
sense.
need to cover and if you need, it makes sense because here's the thing. I think they're going to cut Julio Jones most likely. Because they're going to make room for it. That's what they'll do to get room for DeShaun Watson's contract. Because I think I want to say Matt Ryan's like a 32 or 33 or
no, he's 35.
He's 35. He's up there with Russell Wilson. Okay, so DeShaun Watson is what?
Russ is only like 31. I think 31? Russ is only like 31.
I thought he had the most and did Matt Ryan. Either way,
are we talking about contract? I thought you said age. Sorry. Yeah. So Matt Ryan's around 36, I think. 36 million.
36?
He's up there also. So I mean Houston saves a bit of cash with getting rid of Watson. Oh, same over the Falcons. The Falcons get the quarterback of the future. Houston gets a quarterback for the next couple years, and then they can get their quarterback of the future in the next few drafts. So I mean, I think that makes sense. I mean, I think that Houston trades DeShaun Watson. It could work out. Trade DeShaun Watson to the Falcons, get Matt Ryan and the Atlanta's second overall pick, and the Falcons keep their, I think, number 4 spot or number 3 spot, something like that.
Well, they're also saying that you're probably giving your 22 pick up for DeShaun Watson too. That's what they're saying. They're saying he's going to hold, and these are the reports I've been reading, he's going to hold 2 first-round draft picks, 2021, 2022, and then a second in 2021. And that's what you'll give up to go get DeShaun Watson right now. Would Atlanta give that? Would any team give that? That's the King's ransom right there.
For 2 first-round picks and 2 first-round picks?
2 first-round picks for 2021, 2022, and then you're looking at a second, or they were saying possibly like a 3 and a 4.
The only team
that's what they're saying.
Probably the only 2 teams I could see making that trade are the Colts or probably the 49ers, honestly.
And you just brought up another team right there. The Colts. We didn't even talk about the Colts. Phillip Rivers retired. It's just the quarterback is just insane.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it makes sense for the Colts to make that trade. 2 first rounds, 2 first-round picks. Yeah. I mean,
you've got
the Colts are stacked. Their Colts are stacked when it comes to talent, man. The only thing they're missing right now is a quarterback, and that puts them right back into contention.
Yep.
And I honestly think that's probably the most terrifying thing. The Colts are in Houston's division, so I don't see them making an interconference trade. Not conference. What is it? What is? Interconference trade like that, dude. I think
you're
they're
not
going to
give a weapon to somebody you're going to see twice a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially when you know how good they are.
Yeah, but again, that could change your mind with 2 first-round picks and a second.
Yeah, I mean, they could.
That fixes your whole team right there. Really, that can get you your quarterback. That can get you your wide receiver. That can get you an offensive lineman. Mr.
Press says hard to say, but he'll take Watson over Jimmy G. I mean, I would too. Jimmy he's been hurt. He literally lost in the Super Bowl with bad reads. So
one bad pass. That's all it took.
Not one. It was like 4 or 5, dude. He missed George Kittle. He missed George Kittle wide open 3 times, dude. Easy
Samuel
reads.
Down the middle, dusting everybody. That was the final play, and just over. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Well, go Chiefs! 50 years. Congrats, y'all.
I'm happy for him, dude. But like, he cost him and also Shanahan got away from the run, just like he did with the Falcons. Got away from the run, which is how they were gashing them throughout the first half. So, I mean, yeah. All right, dude. We're 40 minutes in, dude. I think that we've talked quarterback movement enough.
We beat it up enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's always fun. It's always fun to speculate where quarterbacks are going to go to. And we've got pretty good. I mean, it seems like the chat liked it a lot. So let's do draft talk. I think that it's time for Roarcast defensive draft top prospects of their position, dude. And dude, it's stacked this year, man. Like, I mean, that's not like super stacked when it comes to defensive line, but there's some really, really good talent toward the end of the first round, and between the first round and like the 4th round, you're going to find talent in the defense.
To me, it's more of the edge rushers that are really stacked. D tackles, not so much. I like a lot of the edge rushers. You got Gregory Rousseau. You've got Joe. I can't even say his Tyrone. Jalen Phillips, Pay.
Yep.
I mean,
Miami.
you got a lot of good. You've got some really good athletic edge rushers. You got multiple Notre Dame edge rushers, multiple Michigan edge rushers. I mean, I like a lot of them. They're very lean. They're athletic. They're big. They're strong. The defensive edge rushers, it's nothing to really be disappointed. You're going to find a defensive edge rusher this year if you need it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest, man, I think that there are a lot of good DBs. There's a lot of good DBs in this draft. So, So where do you want to start?
So
Let's do that, dude. Let's start off the foundation, and we'll move our way back.
Okay. Cool. So are we gonna do top three?
Yeah, we'll do top three. We'll start off with the interior of the foundation for defense, and we'll go top defensive tackles for the 2021 draft, dude. And let's do it. Interior defenders. Boom. Okay, so I think that Alabama, dude, Christian Barmore is an absolute monster. After a slow start to the season, Barmore turned it up at the end of the year. His performance in the college football playoff national championship was the most impressive performance we saw from the defensive tackle all season. So, he raises play throughout the season, man, which says a lot. And his grades for the past 2 years have been phenomenal for PFF, dude. He's been a high 80s when it comes to being graded from PFF over the last 2 years. And, he was an absolute monster in the championship game. Like he was the center and the guards couldn't handle him.
Oh yeah, and we talked a lot about the centers and the guards from Ohio State. We think they're going to go very, very, very high. They're very good offensive linemen, and I think they'll have really good careers. But he was a monster. He did not let Trevor Lawrence breathe. That is the most I've ever seen, like Trevor Lawrence under duress, and it was coming from him. It was just great. Now, don't get me wrong. The DBs did their thing, but man, that defensive tackle is nasty. I he kind of reminds you. He's like that gym you want. Whoever gets him, like Vita Vea. That's that type of talent. That's that type of talent I see in this guy. He's gonna make me really happy.
What big guys with athleticism can do, man. Vita Vea was an absolute monster for Washington, and now he's probably going to play in the Super Bowl, maybe. If they get there. So I think Christian Barmore is probably the top defensive tackle in this draft. But dude, past that, I mean, it's kind of not necessarily a crapshoot, but there are some like names that I don't love, but are going to be good players. So PFF has the next three as Aleem McNeil from North Dakota State, Levi Onwuzurike. Wow,
from Washington.
That's a name. Yeah, the Washington Huskies. Onwuzurike. Wow. And then, to be honest, a guy I love out of Florida State, dude, Marvin Wilson, and he had a bad year this year, which I can only maybe say is because of injury, because he only had 229 snaps. So, yeah, Marvin Wilson was an absolute monster for the past 2 years, and people say if he could have came out last year, man, he was probably the first or second best defensive tackle. Dude, in 2018, a 90 overall grade, 2019, a 90 overall grade, 2020, a 67.7. I wonder why it fell so drastically. It's probably because of injury, because it's only the first 2 years he played over 500 snaps. In this one, in 2020, 229. So it tells you this guy is a guy he was probably unhealthy this past year, but if you get him in, the second or third round, you're more than likely getting a gem.
Good. And that's where you need to be. That's where you're going to get your really good tackles and your defensive players. It's always a day two, I think.
I can fourth round, baby.
Hey, there you go, man.
Chris Jones, I believe, was also a third or fourth rounder for the Chiefs.
Yep. Exactly. So I mean, you're gonna find your gems. You're gonna develop them. I mean, I've got him a little bit. I've got this one guy going number one. I'm looking at ESPN right now. Davion Nixon out of Iowa.
Yep, I see him.
And he just doesn't look to me. He's 45 tackles, 5.5 sacks, got a pick. Like, just not. He just doesn't seem to. He seems a little. He doesn't seem Barmore. I don't know why they like him so much over.
It's weird.
Barmore.
PFF has him as the fourth best. Has a fourth best, and his grades are not fantastic. 71.5 and then 72. So 71.5 in 2019, 2020, 72.9. Not fantastic. Honestly, the LSU D tackle Tyler Shelvin has a better grade than him over the past 2 years with a 75.9 and an 80.4. And the only I don't know why they have Davion Nixon above him. It doesn't. PFF, of course, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense a lot of times. But the only way I could see him, the reason why they have him as a higher grade is probably the potential for growth is probably better from what they're seeing. But
he seems like a little bit of an undersized defensive tackle right now. He's a little like lighter. He's like what 6'3". He's
probably a 3-tech. He's probably a 3-tech.
Okay.
Whereas,
so he might be.
Yeah.
So are you thinking he may be more fitting a scheme than being more of you put me anywhere, I'm good? No, I need to be in the right scheme.
No. So Davion Nixon's probably he's probably just a true rushing defensive tackle. Probably outside the shoulder of the guard is where you want him to be. Right on the outside as a 3-tech. 3-tech, you don't want him lining up over the center and two gapping. Like how the Patriots like to play their defensive tackles, with the big boys playing nose tackle and just, holding guards and letting linebackers work. This guy is more of a Geno Atkins kind of guy where he is a true pass rush defensive tackle. Maybe that's what they're seeing in their grades for him, because this Tyler Shelvin guy from LSU, 6'3", 346 pounds. This guy is a nose tackle. He's not a pass rusher. He's a two-gapper.
That's a plugger.
Yeah, he's a plugger.
Plug a hole.
So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing with the second Alim McNeil and Levi Onazawarik. So Onazawarik is definitely a 3-tech. He's 6'3", 293 pounds. This guy is a straight up. He's a pass rusher. He's not a gap. He's not a gap guy.
And that's what we've talked about before as well. And guys, check out our previous videos. We've mentioned a lot of this stuff before. How we think the NFL certain positions are starting to move toward away. A lot of people like those defensive tackles to be pluggers, hold the guard, hold the center, let the linebackers work. But now that you've got people like Aaron Donald in the league, and instead of going around the edge, going straight to the quarterback, it's faster than going around the edge. That's who the people are going to start grabbing toward. That's what these high school football teams are going to start building these defensive tackles to do. It's all going to mold off the NFL. And that's what you're going to start seeing colleges go to. So I think we're going to see more Aaron Donald-like, more fit, meaner defensive tackles, still big but more athletic, and less the 6'5", 350-pound, I'm just going to hold you and not let the guy run right up the gut.
Yeah. So let's do our top three right now, dude. For me, Christian Barmore, of course. And then I'm going to go away from PFF. I'm going to put Marvin Wilson as my number 2 defensive tackle just because I believe in him as much as I do. I think that this year he was just unhealthy. And if he's there available in the second round, dude, I am running to the podium. I'm taking Marvin Wilson because he is going to be Geno Atkins' heir apparent. He is a pass rushing machine. He's a fantastic player. And then I'm going to go with Aleem McNeil out of North Dakota State. I'm not sorry, NC State. Sorry, North Carolina State. Just because like PFF says this guy is a nose tackle that can rush the passer, which that tells me this guy is a Chris Jones-like player. Chris Jones is a big boy, but can also get out the passer with the Chiefs. So he is mostly from a true O-Tech, means zero tech alignment, means straight up on the center. And this guy can get to the quarterback from there, the very middle of the defense.
Yep.
Those are my top three.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're not questioning number one defensive tackle off the board unless this guy just completely blows his pro day. It's Barmore. I got to go with Tyler Shelvin. Again, even though I just mentioned how NFL is I think they're going to start going away from these bigger, heavier linebackers. I still think you're having still old defensive mindset. I'm going to go with Tyler Shelvin. I think he's probably going to be back because he's just a big boy. He's strong. He's going to be able to really, really hold and plug up those. And hey, if y'all watched NFL this year, a lot of these defense got gashed right up the middle. Up the middle. And it was just easy for running backs. Right. And just easy for offensive line. So I see Tyler Shelvin maybe going to one of those teams who may need somebody to plug those gaps around the center. And then as for number 3, I can't really pick. I think it's as you mentioned earlier, Rory, it's a crapshoot. It's who fits your scheme the best. Who do you think is going to be able to build the most? So after you kind of explain Nixon to me, I see him being very enticing. That if he has a high ceiling, he's a straight rush the quarterback, go straight to that guy, go get him. I could see Nixon being 3rd, maybe even number 2 off the board, but Barmore hands down number 1.
Okay, gotcha. So let's go edge rusher, dude. Let's go edge. So
there he is. There he is. Guys, I think it's plain and simple. I think the number 1 dude off the board because this dude is a specimen. Like, he is everything you want an edge rusher to be. He's long. He's fit. He's mean. Yes, he did hold off this season, but, to a lot of people's credit, a lot of football players just said, you know what? I'm just going to work for the NFL. I already know where I'm going to go. I think Gregory Rousseau is just going to be that guy. I think he's going to be the first one taken because I just think of that prospect. I just think of that ability you're going to have with them. The fact that there's a lot of smaller QBs. Let's look at that too. You're looking at a 6'7" edge rusher. Bat the ball. He's going to be able to
hands up,
smack the ball down, just hands up. So
Carlos Dunlap made a living off batting balls, dude, at the line.
And now you've got Russell Wilson, 6 foot, Kyler Murray, 5-0. Kidding, he's 5'8", y'all. 5'8". They'll say 5'10" though by combine.
Yep, Baker Mayfield's just under 6 foot.
Just under 6 foot.
Yep. Tua Tagovailoa just at 6 foot, maybe 6'1" at most.
Yes.
Okay. So Jose, as a Bengals fan, Rory, what changes in the offensive line, if any, the team has done to protect your QB is well known that is needed. So for the Bengals, I think that we haven't made any moves yet because free agency doesn't start till March 15th and then the draft. But I think that, oh my God, one of the reporters for the team said that what's not important is going out and getting just the stupid stuff. He said that the team doesn't need to go out and pay big money for an offensive lineman or draft the highest prospect when it comes to the draft. They need a running game. The running game is the best. Is what's going to keep Joe Burrow up, which I agree. But how do you run the ball, Hobson? Jesus Christ! It was the worst take I've ever heard from a team reporter in my life. I was like, do you not understand what a lineman does? He He opens up gaps for runners. What in the world? Like, are you sure you've been with this team for the past 30 years? Jesus. It was the stupidest thing I've heard.
That's just dumb. Like there's no simple way to say it.
What the Bengals have done to improve their offensive line play is we rehired Frank Pollock, who got Joe Mixon his first 1,000-yard running season 2 years ago, and then with the incoming staff got let go because Zach wanted to bring his own people in. Too bad his people were worse than what he let go. So we brought back Frank Pollock, who was the offensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Zeke's first 2 seasons, where he was the league rushing champ, and
not second season, but we won't get into that.
Yeah. So Frank Pollock he's an amazing line coach. Joe Mixon loves him. The offensive linemen love him because a lot of them were still there whenever he was there, and they were better. They said that they were coached better while he was there. So what the Bengals need to do to keep Joe Burrow protected next year, I think, is in free agency, go grab either Taylor Moton, tackle from the Panthers, or sign Joe Thuney from the Patriots, who is a fantastic left guard. And you plug him right next to Jonah Williams, and then if by some miracle you draft Penei Sewell out of Oregon at 5, if he's there, please God, I need that. But when it comes to this year's draft, there's a lot of great offensive line. We talked about them last week on the live show. A lot of great offensive linemen in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft, and you can even you might get some good rotational guys in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds also. But the Bengals haven't made any moves yet besides rehiring Frank Pollock, which is the move that we've all wanted to see and improving. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for right now. So without further notice, let's get back to the draft, dude. For edge rushers, I think you're right. Gregory Rousseau is a fantastic prospect when it comes to just straight tangibles, things you can measure. The dude's 6'6", 260 pounds, long as hell. People comped him to an old Bengals player, Carlos Dunlap, because they had the exact same build. And like you said, batting passes is what this man does. And I think Carlos Dunlap has like 3 interceptions just off his own batted balls. So this guy has the ability to do that, and he has the tools to be a top 5 pick. It's just he doesn't have the tape for it because he's only really played 1 year of college football. But he has the length and versatility to be a selling point for a lot of teams. Yes. What he reminds me of is a Brian Burns out of Florida State. I believe it was 2 years ago. Very long, slender frame, but super athletic. I also think that Kwity Paye out of Michigan is also a top prospect. He is physical, a little bit shorter than Rousseau. He's about 6'4", not quite as long, but he's a super duper physical rusher off the edge. PFF has him. Paye is everything you could want in physicality to be an every down problem in the NFL. While he never put it all together at Michigan, he's shown to take to coaching and make strides every single year, which you always want to hear. A player is getting better and his play is getting more consistent as he's being coached, which you can honestly see it from the PFF grades themselves. 2018, 71.1 on 380 snaps, and then next year kicked it up to 638 snaps and 80 overall grade. In 2020, snaps went down to 258, but the pressure and consistency went up. 86.3. So every year he's gotten better.
Another guy I like coming straight out of, I like Paye. Actually, a lot of draft boards have Paye going the first edge rusher. Yeah, I mean, just straight up. Another one, and who actually they said actually flourished and got a lot more look when Rousseau decided, hey, I'm going to step back a year.
Jalen Phillips.
Manny Diaz does so well developing defensive players. He really does. And that was a miss on the Longhorns, in my opinion. You let him go way too soon. I won't go on that tangent, y'all. Don't let me get started on that. But Jalen Phillips, a big 6'5", 258. He's lean. He's fast. He's just everything you want in him. He's going to get the defenders. He's they say he may be one of the most balanced out of everything you want with an edge rusher. I mean, I don't think, again, like I said, I don't think you can really go wrong with edge rushers, man, this year. Nope. I think I think it's more with these edge rushers, from what I'm seeing more, they're more about, they're not going to be some will be impactful immediately, but you're not going to see this class until like the second or third year. They're going to need a little bit of time to get developed because they all look like they're still young. And they have just more time to grow, more develop. A lot of them, when you're looking at their prospects, they're just like, has a lot of talent, has a high ceiling. They're fast. They're lean. They look a little too big right now and they're not as filled out. And so on and so forth. That's it almost seems like that's just straight off the board with quite a few of them.
Edge is pretty stacked this year. Past those three guys, you have Jason Owe out of Penn State, Aziz Oligori from Georgia, 6'3", 240. He is a true edge rusher because he's not going anywhere near the interior. Let's just say that. The dude's way too small, 240 pounds. This dude's a linebacker. But he is apparently extremely productive off the edge. So he's more of a quick guy. He's going to beat you with the first step and then finesse moves. And then you have Carlos Bash.
Another guy I like is Joseph Asai out of Texas. That guy not only can beat you off the first step, that guy is a leader too. He was one of the main leaders to Texas's defense this year. He harasses the quarterback. He slaughters offensive linemen. He's strong. He's lengthy, and he can cover.
Ooh.
It's just,
he can drop in coverage?
What more do you want him to do? Yeah, he's good at coverage, man. Yeah, you broke him. Ash had him in coverage a lot this year, which is he's a stand-up. He's a stand-up.
So he's an outside linebacker.
He's an outside linebacker that can play edge rusher. Just that's what they're going to, So I mean, it's just dude. If you get the chance to check some of his tape out, man, go ahead, dude. If he goes to any team, I think he's going to be very excited.
So top three, let's go.
Top three, I got to go Rousseau. I'm going to go with actually, let me switch that because Rousseau, still young year, didn't really have a full year. I'll go Kwity Paye, Rousseau, Phillips.
Okay, so I'm going to go Kwity Paye, Rousseau, and then I think I'm going to go Carlos Basham. Just because PFF has him, had a down year, but he notched up 112 pressures in 2 seasons prior, and he's a burly 285 pounds. He is a pocket pusher for years to come is what they have him as his draft profile. So I think that's what we got as our top three, dude. Let's go to linebackers. We're just going to go straight up all linebackers across the board.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's without question who we know is number one off the board. I think we've even talked about him going maybe number two overall. I mean, dude, with Staley.
I mean, dude. I mean, if you have a defensive, a guy who loves linebackers, dude, with Fred Turner and Dre Greenlaw, dude has an eye for linebackers, and I think that in his defense they are absolutely pivotal. And at number two, with the new head coach from the Jets, man, I mean, you drafted, like I said, the Jets drafted an offensive lineman 10 overall last year, and then now this year, do you go wide receiver or do you invest in defense? And if I'm investing in defense, there's really only one guy that I want in that top 10, and that's Micah Parsons, dude.
Yep.
That's Micah Parsons.
There's just nothing more to say. I think this is somebody we've been talking about for a long time, man. And I mean, he's that guy we can see as that he may be one of those generational talents
Yeah,
that
he's a
that
Luke
that we
Kuechly.
see.
This guy's a Luke Kuechly type talent. He is a Ray Lewis. He is a leader. He is, fast, strong, great instincts, great
Mhm.
tackler. He can blitz. He can do everything you want, dude. And it's just kind of
Yep.
like, what do you want him to do? He can do it. And if I'm Coach Shaleth, I think at number 2, dude, that's probably my pick. Or if I can move back, I want to move back. But if I can't, then I'm just going to bite the bullet and just go ahead and draft Micah Parsons at 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I
Okay.
mean, why not? I mean, there's no point. I mean, I think, oh man, I mean, that's just, I am excited for that guy, man. I just want to see what he does, man.
I mean, really, the world's your oyster at number 2, dude. You can have anyone you want because you know who's number 1. It's gonna be Trevor Lawrence more than likely.
Yeah.
And then number 2, man.
And everybody else.
What do you want?
It's who fits your scheme.
Micah Parsons fits every defense.
Every defense. You'll be able to find him. A lot of people have Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
Yep. JOK.
Yep. JOK. There we go. I got it.
This dude's a monster. With Micah Parsons opting out, JOK he was awarded the Butt Kiss Award winner for the nation's best linebacker. JOK was an elite short area quick for a linebacker, and while being at 215 pounds, he might seem tiny, but the same weight as Darius Leonard played last year for the Colts. And Darius Leonard was an absolute monster, an absolute unit. And I think JOK has the same pedigree. I think he has all the tools that you want, and I think that he can deliver, honestly. I think he's a first-round pick, definitely, at linebacker.
Easy. And then you also got to look at a lot of people are saying that he's a different speed. He's fast. He's an instinctual player. He can read. He's your quarterback on the defense, just like Micah Parsons, and he's going to be able to read the offense, be able to call those plays. He's going to be your leader. He's going to be your play caller on the defensive side of the ball. And again, he's NFL speed ready already. And what more do you want? He can lay big hits. He can cover. If Micah Parsons would have played this full season, we may be talking about a different award winner, but it was JOK.
Yep. And then I think number 3, man, I think it's kind of a toss-up between Zaven Collins out of Tulsa and Nick Bolton out of Missouri. Bolton won't tick every box physically, but he's a guy you want in the middle of your defense. He led the SEC in defensive stops in each of the past 2 seasons. So, and he played in the SEC, so as a monster. So, question
compared
for
to the
Jordan.
American. Yo.
Yep. Question for Jordan. Mr. Perez says, question for Jordan. Do you think Prescott will be back on full force, or perhaps Dalton will be the QB for Dallas next season?
I don't think Dalton will be the Cowboys QB next season. I think he'll go play somewhere else. I do. I just don't see him coming back. I think the Cowboys want Dak Prescott, but I think they want him at the right price. It's so up in the air, and all we can do is speculate until he gets franchise tag or he signs a $40 million contract. I would love Dak Prescott to be back next year. I do think he's going to be back next year. But I really hope it's not for a $40 million contract.
Not at all.
You can't take that. It's gonna be too much. And you give a $40 million contract to someone who can go to a championship. And yes, Dak Prescott has won as many playoff games as Tony Romo has. But just you don't go for one playoff win. You don't give a guy a $40 million contract for a playoff bid. I personally would like to see him walk, let him go play somewhere else, and let's go more experienced, somebody cheaper. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I think we should go try to get Matt Stafford. So I know that was a very in-depth answer, but there's just it's not a yes or no with that type of situation right now. It just isn't.
Yeah. So I think that right now, I think that the more than likely Prescott will be back next year with Dallas.
Yep.
I mean, but if he's asking for 40 plus million, I don't see it, dude. I just see it. I don't see it. He just missed an entire season due to an injury. You're coming back off an injury, and you want to get paid 40 million a year? I don't think so. And not to mention every game that you did, you put up massive numbers, but that you put up massive numbers because you're playing from behind almost every single game. So. I think that for right now, the Cowboys have a lot more priority to handle. I think that right now, you go get Matt Stafford if he's trying to leave the Detroit Lions.
You can take his contract.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be the same thing as Prescott's, or maybe a little bit less. He honestly might take a pay cut just to be back in Texas.
32. 30,
yeah,
I think it's like a 32.
I think he'd take it. I think he'd take a 3 year at 34 million. I could see that because Dak's asking for like a 4-year contract at 40 million. 40
because
plus million
and here's something that maybe everybody else isn't hearing about. Dak wants a 4-year, $40 million contract because year 5 years from now, the $1 billion TV deals reset.
Yep.
And the NFL is going to make, and the owners are going to make billions of dollars when they renegotiate these TV deals. And I mean, they're going to be bringing in Nickelodeon. They're going to be bringing in Amazon. They're going to be bringing in these massive TV providers and renegotiate to get NFL everywhere. And Dak Prescott wants that money. He's thinking smart. I'll say that. He is thinking smart, but he's in a way, I think you're kind of seeing a selfish thing, which isn't bad because I think every player should go get as much money as they can out of the owners. The owners take too much.
Yep. I mean, both can be true. You can be smart, but also you can be like, hey, dude, we can't afford you at that price. Sorry.
Yep.
Do you want to be a Cowboy or not? But yeah, so get off that tangent, dude. Let's get back to your top 3 linebackers.
Oh my gosh, yeah. As I think we both are kind of on board with that. Yep. Okay, so with Zach Collins and Bolton, and as I've mentioned before, I'm always scared and hesitant, very rare on players who don't play at high competition levels for their entire career. I think Xavier Collins, he's a more well-rounded. He's got that new body that you want on a linebacker, 6'4", 200 plus pounds, fast. But Collins just seems like he's going to be the guy that runs downhill and he's going to blow your running back up, and your running back's going to be like, I don't want to go up the middle anymore.
Yeah, that's what his drop power. That's what his drop power literally says, dude. It says it's 6'4", 260 pounds. Collins isn't your typical off-the-ball linebacker prospect. He dominates backs in the blitz pickup and can chase them down in space. His 91 overall grade average this past season and led all linebackers in college football. So, I mean, pretty good, but, he is definitely not a chat. What will happen to the Steelers? Can you guys tell me? All right, so we're gonna talk a little. We'll do our linebacker talk picks real fast, and then we'll get into the Steelers talk.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
we forgot about the Steelers and Dwayne Haskins. Anyway, back to linebackers.
Okay, yeah, we'll get there. So top 3 linebackers, go bro.
I got to go. Micah Parsons, JOK, toss up. I'll go with Collins just because he's that style. I think he's going to have a high ceiling, and go with him. But I think he's more of a risk than the first two.
Yep. So I'm going Parsons, JOK, and Nick Bolton. Dude, to lead the SEC in defensive stops for 2 seasons is an absolute great stat to have. While not being like a Butkus Award winner, I mean, still pretty good. I believe the Texans linebacker right now did the exact same thing, and he's played phenomenally for the Texans. So I'm going to go with Nick Bolton from Missouri. All right. So we'll get into the cornerbacks and safeties after the Steelers talk real fast, dude. So he said, to conclude my chat, what happens to the Steelers? Can you guys tell me? So I mean, their Steelers are in a predicament, man. Ben does not look like he wants to play football anymore. And with them signing Dwayne Haskins, they're like, all right, Ben, try and gut out another year for us while we prepare this dude who clearly doesn't have his head right for football to come lead our team. Let's see if we can show him the Steelers way and, be our quarterback of the future to see if there's anything there that can salvage that for his future NFL I guess career. The Steelers, they're in a mess, dude. They have no money and they have a ton of free agents. TJ Watt. They have TJ Watt. They have was it?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster. They're gonna have Fitzpatrick, I believe, next year. Or they'll probably franchise tag him, but there's that. They're paying Ben $40 million a year, I believe, right now. So there's that. I believe they have a few offensive linemen is free agents too. I believe James Conner is also a free agent, the running back, which I wouldn't re-sign him. Nah, he's not that good. Yeah, but the Steelers are in a bad way right now. Clearly, they were not a fantastic team. Their record says they were good, but honestly, their level of competition they were playing was not fantastic.
You're right, Rory. I just think if you go back to the shock on Big Ben's face when everybody else was saying, "Hey, good job, Browns," and he was just sitting there on the benches, and he was just like, just glazed look, like, is this how it almost was a look like this was my final performance, this is how I go out kind of look, like this was supposed to be my Super Bowl year.
I'm so happy with the Browns that did it to him too. It was that made me feel so good.
The funniest thing is that they did it to themselves the first 3 scores. Like,
yeah. Literally the first game wasn't literally the first play like
first
literally
play,
a safety. No, touchdown, a defensive touchdown. So jeez, the Steelers just didn't come to play that game. But the Steelers they're in a bad way. Then it's great for the AFC North. We because they've honestly bullied us for the past 15 years, and it's
well, who do you take?
Who do you mean?
You're probably gonna let DeShaun Watson. Why did I say DeShaun Watson? Ben Roethlisberger. You're gonna let him go. He's a $40 million quarterback. You're gonna have a bunch of free agency quarterbacks you just signed. Dwayne Haskins, and then also, I understand Mika Fitzpatrick, but as great as he is, he's next year. TJ Watt's right there. Juju Smith-Schuster, who's good, but he looked way better this year than previous years when Antonio Brown was gone. He looked like he disappeared, and then when Chase Claypool came to play, Juju Smith-Schuster showed up. So you got to decide. It's got to be TJ Watt, right? You're gonna sign TJ Watt.
You gotta sign TJ. You have to sign TJ. He's the dude. He's the guy that leads. He's leading their defense right now. I believe they have a few free agents when it comes to their defensive line. Oh no, they're paying a few guys on their defensive line now. Sorry. So just who do you want to keep at this point? The Steelers are in a bad way.
They'll be okay though. They're a good organization. They've got Mike Tomlin. As I won't go on a tangent about him, but he's a good coach. He is. He's a real good coach. He's going to get that defense. He's going to make sure the offense is good. Dwayne Haskins, I don't believe is it. I think this is his last shot, and if he can't beat out Mason Rudolph, I I think he's playing for what team does The Rock? What's the Rock League now? I just call it the Rock League. The XFL. I think he's an XFL quarterback, y'all. That's where Dwayne Haskins is headed, to the XFL.
So I mean, Steelers in a bad way, and hopefully they stay in a bad way. Just saying. All right. All right. So to get off the Steelers tangent, let's go back to our draft talk, dude.
Do we want to because we've been going on about an hour and 20? Do we want to double up on the safeties and CBs right now, or do we still have to do outside linebackers?
No. Outside linebacker, I consider edge. But most of those guys we talked about were outside linebacker types anyway. So I mean,
defensive ends, which is weird.
We can do quick cornerback and then safeties. We'll just go to a little bit faster, and then when I edit out, I'll just put it all in one. So, dude, I mean, like I was saying, DBs is absolutely stacked, dude. You have Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech, who is a absolute monster. He's got the size, speed for the position to be outside. He's darn good in coverage when part. And then saw last year, he allowed a passer rating of only 26.8 that season. That's elite. That is absolutely elite.
Very elite.
Super duper elite. So elite.
I mean, I think it's a toss up between number 1 and 2, between Surtain and Farley. Yep. It just really is. Farley had Surtain had a outstanding playoff run, man. Just straight shut down just everything you want out of a CB, out of a dominant CB, especially with the high-powered offenses he was going against. Just plain and simple. You can't go wrong. I would take Surtain over Farley just because of experience and just because of the level of competition that he was going at. And Farley may, even though he would, again, ACC, real good competition, just not SEC.
Nope. I agree. Okay. Past that, dude, you have Jace
Horn.
JC Horn, Gamecock, South Carolina. Horn has athleticism and mindset of a man corner in the NFL level, but he's not going to back down from anyone. He's allowed only 8 catches from 28 targets and 116 yards across 7 games this year. That is absolutely phenomenal. And then you have Asante. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see how his combine goes. Not phenomenal, super duper great grades from PFF, but they said that he can be a man corner in the NFL, and that says a lot from their judgment. And then
what a big knock on him is tackles. He needs to get his tackling down. He's missed a lot of tackles.
He's a cover corner.
He's a cover corner. If you could swat every ball down, you don't need to tackle. If you only allow 8 catches through your whole season, you win. You're a great cornerback. It's just straight up.
Yep. And then past that, from Florida State, you have Asante Samuel Jr. And it said Samuel was arguably college's smoothest athlete at the position. He only allowed 179 yards in 8 games and allowed a passer rating of 46.2, which is pretty good, man. That's right up there. That's a top 2 round draft pick, if you ask me.
Well, he's obviously going to a team that plays against the Chiefs, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to stick him straight on Tyreek Hill. Like, look at his build, look at his size. Like, that's what you got to look at, too. You got to look at
I just wonder how fast his 40 is.
Yeah.
I wonder what his 40 is. So, I mean, top 3 cornerbacks real fast, dude.
Man, again, I think it's a toss-up. I'll take Surtain, I'll take Farley, and then I'll take. I'm kind of with you. I was high on Wade until he got roasted by Devontae Smith.
He
got and that was half a game. That was half a game.
This man. Devontae Smith literally knocked him out of the top 10, literally, he's number 9. He was top 2 cornerbacks last time we talked defensive players, defensive cornerbacks, dude. And now he's like literally the 69th overall pick, which is in the damn near the 3rd round. So yeah,
I would have to go with yeah, definitely. I'd have to go with J.C. Horn. I think the NFL is going toward more bigger cornerbacks. So I see that being a positive as long as he can, again, 8 passes, man, that's a lot to say. Yeah, you got to tackle. Phenomenal. But if your front 7 is doing their jobs, you're never going to meet a running back very often. And then your safety should be coming over to help you. So,
yeah. I think I'm going to go with you, dude. Surtain, Farley, Horn is mine also. Yep. So to wrap up our defensive talks, dude, let's go safeties. And
what the Dallas Cowboys need.
Ooh, there's not a lot of high-end safeties. You're going to find them mostly at the end of the first through, probably the 3rd round. That's where you're gonna get yourself a safety if you're going to get one in this draft. Looks like the top safety for PFF is Trayvon Moehrig out of TCU. 6'2", 202 pounds. Moehrig has a lot of prototypical physical tools for the position, and they've translated to the field. He led college safeties in pass breakups in each of the past 2 seasons, which is, that's pretty good. You can't hit on that. Safety. Yeah, dude. And then you have a Darius Washington at TCU too. So TCU is apparently saved you this year.
I'm sorry, guys. I just don't think a Big 12 defense is nothing to brag about. I know we're pretty high on Joseph Asai, but that's just because he's just a super athletic. But TCU wasn't that great this year, man. They got blown out a lot. They won some games, but
do you think that's because they're a safety player? Because just the defenses just in general are not fantastic in the Big 12.
I just think the defenses aren't fantastic in the Big 12. I think they've got some good individual players, but as a whole, as an 11-man defense, Big 12 just doesn't have it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I think that, with how much they throw the ball in the Big 12, I think that, it kind of, it might say a lot that, they've been graded as highly as they have over the past 2 years. So apparently their coverage skills and their ability to tackle has been pretty fantastic. Because it kind of says a lot, dude. If the Big 12 defense is like defensive line, the linebackers haven't been fantastic. And these safeties have clearly produced. Are they the top 2 safeties for you too in CBS?
So what I'm looking at right now is I have Trayvon Moehrig. He is below Javon Holland from Oregon.
Yeah. I know Javon Holland.
Yep. And then the other TCU, I've got him number 2. And then Darius Washington, I've got him, number 15 in the top 15. Yeah, I got him actually below a Texas, Caden Stearns, which he was a good player, but Caden Stearns is a big hit guy. That guy was a big hit.
Clearly, what this is telling me is that draft prospects for this year's draft is just kind of a crapshoot. It's just kind of like, what do you like? Because a prospect I'm really high on is Hamish Nostradim out of Florida State, dude. He looks like a monster. 6'4", 220. Nostradim could easily be viewed as a linebacker in the NFL. As well, he'll probably be a tight end eraser either way. An ACL tear suffered at the end of 2019 season will still need to be vetted. However, as we only saw him in 2 games 2020, he was fantastic. So, that's a guy too. He's an injury risk, but I like him, dude. Tight end eraser, the Bengals could use that because apparently that's the only position we don't know how to cover on the Bengals.
Well, I mean, again, it's just like with just the way the NFL goes, it's just so rare to find a tight end that's deadly. So
6'4", 220. Jesus Christ.
Gosh, that's a linebacker, man. That's a skinny linebacker right there. I mean, yeah, I can't tell which one safety wise. It's hard for me to pick a top three because they're all so similar. It's all like they're versatile. They can't start in the NFL. They do some good things. They do some bad things. And it's just like, all right, so it sounds like all these safeties need to play another year in college.
Right. All right. So let's go to our top three, dude. And I'm going to go Trayvon Moehrig, TCU.
Yeah.
How much? Nostradamus out of Florida State. And then I'm going to go probably – damn, I don't even know, man. It's just a crapshoot. I think I'm going to go with PFF because honestly, man, like I just don't know with how different. I mean, because I've seen a few of them, dude. And safety seems to be the position this year. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
really. I think I'll just go with PFF. I'll go with Adarius Washington.
I mean, I'm going to go pretty straight down the board. I do like Hamsay Nasruddin. I can't say his name. I do apologize, man. But I'm going to go with Javon Holland, Trayvon Moehrig, and I'll go. I just think somebody's going to take a pick at him because he's so big, and they're like, well, let's just see if this works. We already got a good safety. Let's see what we can do with this guy. He's massive. He could stop Gronk.
Yeah, he's gonna be a tight end eraser. Well,
we need him to stop. I'm telling you, some of these players are going to be picked specifically to stop certain teams. That's where a lot of these players, and then those players are going to go away, and they're going to be like, well, we don't really need you anymore. All right, it's been a good 4 years. We're not signing you.
Right. Yeah, safeties are not a huge priority when it comes to the NFL anymore, which is, it's just kind of like they're the running back of the defense. It's just kind of I can just go get one and they'll play, which has been pretty much the Cowboys' entire playbook for the past 7 years.
And well, we've had no defense. And the funniest thing is what's his name? I know I got to go on it. He was our white safety, and he now plays for Oakland. Jeff Heath, and he's been defensive player of the week like multiple times for the Oakland Raiders. It's just like, thanks. And we got a guy who can't stay healthy, a guy who can't play, who can't read a defense. Never mind.
Xavier
Woods, who's just like, wait. I was supposed to line up on this receiver. Yeah, dude, you were in. That was your guy. He's the only one that wasn't covered. Like, what are you doing, dude?
I'm just here to look at stuff. Now,
nobody told me to cover him.
All right. So I mean, I think that covers most of everything for right now. You got anything, bro? Before we get out?
No, man. I mean, it's as you can see, this draft class is going to be very exciting. I think the last thing to cover is sad. We're probably not looking at a combine this year, y'all.
Yeah.
There's a memo that's been put out. It looks like they're going to just have very high press pro days of top draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
So it's gonna change a lot, I think, of how you look at how people draft. I think this is going to be a very interesting draft because pro days, as we were talking, they were typically your second chance if you had a bad combine.
Bad combine. So I mean, you've got to show up for your pro day now. You have to.
Yep.
There's probably not a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then I think this is a chance for some players who aren't as good. May look better because they're going to have Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields throwing to them. And now they're going to look really good when they might not be that good. So this is going to change a lot of the way these scouts and these draft boards line up with this pro day that comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, dude. So, guys, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you commenting, all that stuff. If you could like, subscribe, it all helps out. We love doing this. And dude, clearly the draft is here. Free agency's March 15th. So, we'll probably take this whole free offseason talk, dude. We'll probably do top free agents. In the upcoming live streams. So that should be a lot of fun. And we're going to love talking about it. Jordan, you got anything else, bro?
Hey, like Rory said, like, subscribe. We love it when y'all are commenting. It makes it more exciting. We're able to talk with y'all, answer your questions.
Good night for talking. Loved it.
It's a good night. It makes it more interesting. It brings in new opinions. So we love that. So like, subscribe, and thank y'all for watching Roar Sports Media.
All right. Appreciate you watching, guys. Stop by, chat again. We love you here at Roar Sports Media. Goodbye. Peace.